Here we go. Happy Thursday, August 29th. We're almost at the end of the summer. Woo! Sorry, no, that's an early woo. All right. Happy Thursday, August 29th, Hebrews 12, 22 through 24. Short little passage today. Instead, you have come to Mount Zion. I read this yesterday. It's a little piece that I want to emphasize a little bit. Instead, you've come to Mount Zion, to the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, to myriads of angels in festive gatherings, a festive gathering, to the assembly of the firstborn whose names have been written in heaven, to a judge who is God of all, to the spirits of righteous people made perfect, and to Jesus. See that? This is a kingdom unshaken. So I just wanted to stop and consider the promise. You see, when I lived up in the mountains of North Carolina, I'd run the trails up the mountains. I was still a runner and training and doing all that kind of thing. And there were these fire roads that you could travel on up the sides of a mountain. And some of them were steep and some of them were not. On one such road, there was this rustic camping area. So one day I was running, and I've told this story in messages before, but one day I was running, and it happened to be during the monarch butterfly migration. So it'd just be thousands of these monarch butterflies that would travel up this little mountainous area and valley, and as they would travel, you know, they would you'd see them in the trees and down close to the ground, and they just, I don't know how they communicate, but they all just kind of moved. Well, in this little rustic camping area, someone had poured out something sweet on the ground, and a bunch of these butterflies had congregated on this little patch of sweet stuff on the ground, and I was running on that road that day with a really small little Eli. Eli was in one of those running strollers, and I was running, and Eli was in the stroller, and he still was pretty active, and so he figured out how to unhitch his little seatbelt thing, and he saw the butterflies, and he immediately wanted to go over to the butterflies. And I stopped, and sort of he hopped off of his little stroller, and he kind of trundled over to the butterflies, and as he got to the sweet spot of the butterflies, he just stepped into the midst of this pile of monarch butterflies, and he was just standing in this swarm of butterflies. It was incredible. See, I didn't have a phone at the time that would take a picture, but it is a picture that is burned into my mind of Eli just standing in the midst of this glorious swarm of God's creation, and so as I think on that scene, it has always stuck with me. See, the mountain we approach is a glorious kingdom. It's a city whose foundations are unshaken. God is there. Angels are there. It is a festive gathering, and I particularly like that description. The people who are there belong there. God has saved them and written their names there. God is on his throne, and the perfectly righteous people are gathered there. That picture in my mind of that kingdom that we approach is better than the butterflies. We approach a kingdom. Woo! See you tomorrow.